What is up, guys? MrBagelz here, and welcome back to Night in the Woods. Yes, we're gonna do something in Night in the Woods. What I'm going to call the epilogue to Night in the Woods. So this is gonna be a little bit different, guys. What we're gonna do is, I believe it said in 2013 when this was a Kickstarter, they had made like a little teaser game. And we're going to go ahead and play that as a final send-off for Night in the Woods, because this game actually hit me pretty hard. And I want to talk about that before we get into this and before I start reading this. Because I'm going to read and I'm going to try to do, the little whatever voices for all the different characters. But before we start into this, I kind of want to just kind of talk. So if you're looking to just see this, classic Kickstarter game, teaser game, just probably skip like 4 minutes up. But I wanted to talk just a little bit for a minute about this game, because so when I finally beat the game, I was really bummed. I was also a little mad because I found out that I had actually missed a lot in the game. I didn't know that there were like characters you could go off and they're like side stories that you could go and hang out with. You could go hang out with Germ and you could actually see like a bunch of different stuff, hang out with him, and I didn't know all this stuff until after I finished the last chapter, or until I finished the epilogue in the game, and it bumped. Yeah, it was 2013. Sorry, and so it really bummed me out because, like, I wish I had known that. I also didn't know that you could actually get one of two endings, one involving Greg, and the other one involving Bay. I didn't know that either. Luckily, I got the Greg ending. If I had known that, not to be a jerk to Bay, but I probably would have done all the Greg stuff, because apparently there's like a part where you like beat up a car and you steal a battery or something, and there's all this stuff that I just missed because I didn't stick with Greg the whole time, and I didn't know that was going to happen. I kind of thought that it was going to be like one day you hang out with Bay, day you hang out with Greg, back and forth. So that bummed me out, but for a minute I had thought about like going back and trying to get to those points just to play them and have it be like, oh yeah, look, we're, it's the after game or something. But it just goes back to a feeling that I always have when it comes down to games and stuff. Even if we miss a bunch of stuff, I'm not really a completionist. So even if we miss a bunch of stuff, I've always been the kind of person where the journey that we had in the game is our journey, and it's special to us. And so I don't like to go back for those reasons. I might in the future replay this game again just to see if I feel a little different at that point, but as it stands in terms of seeing those different scenes and stuff, I'm not going to go back through for that, because I feel like the adventure and the journey that we went through and the choices we made, that was our journey, unique to us, and so I'm going to stick with it for that. But it bummed me out to a point where like I couldn't stream that night, because it was a night that I normally stream, and I had to cancel it because like I was just really down, because I was really bummed that I had beat the game. I didn't think I was gonna beat it. I thought I had like a long ways to go, and so it just got to me because I didn't expect to play a game where I felt like I related so much to a lot of the characters. I feel like I relate to about 3 of the 4 main characters, and it just really hit me. I spent the rest of the day just thinking about the situations with them and like the story and how it unfolded and stuff like that, and I just was just down for the whole day. And it's just crazy because like I feel like I relate very heavily to Bay, May, and Greg. I feel like I relate to Greg because of his story with the sheep and how he basically just wants to escape this kind of fate that he sees so many people around him kind of stuck with. And I've always kind of felt that way about my own situation. I want to get out, and I want to see something different, not sit here and go with the safe bet where I'm maybe not the most happy and whatnot. And that relates to the situation with Bay, because I don't want to sit here and work this job that I've got that maybe I could look for something that's closer to what I'm passionate about, or something that I'm much more interested about, instead of playing it safe and just sticking with this job that I know I kind of am glued to. And, you know, in Bay's situation, she's doing this job that she takes all this responsibility, and it always gets thrown on her, and she's always dealing with all the stuff. You know, she's going home and doing extra work and stuff like that off the clock. And I know how that is. Like, that's how I feel. I get frustrated, and I just feel drained all the time. And then with May, it's she's coming back, and everything is changing. Everything is different. And I feel like for me, I'm about to, just with what I'm trying to do in my life, I'm working towards a big change. And I feel like that's how I kind of relate to May's situation. So all these things just kind of like came together, all these different characters, and just I found myself relating pretty heavily to the struggle. You know, it's maybe not exactly the same to their struggles in the game, but it's very similar to the theme behind it. Change, you know, the struggle with routine and mundane kind of life, being okay with that, and just trying to find what makes you feel like you outside of that, and then just that feeling of wanting more out of life and not wanting it to just be just bland. And so it really hit me. Like I couldn't even record the next day. Like I was gonna record another game, and I couldn't do it. Like I was in just a foul mood because I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about a quote that I had gotten from May, and just all this different stuff for the game, and I was just bummed. I used to be, when I was younger, when I would read a book, I would hate finishing the book, because every time I would finish it, I'd just be sad, because, you know, you have that thing feeling that part of your brain, or it's just like distracting you from maybe something that's bothering you in real life, and once you're done with that thing, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, this hasn't gone away. But I don't know, I guess that's kind of a life lesson. Like, it teaches you that it's good to have a distraction, but you still have to do something about the problem. But anyways, so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I haven't had a game hit me like that in a long time. And to be very honest, when it came down to Night in the Woods, it's also one of the first times with a game where I sat down, started playing it, and I played it from that point all the way to the end. And I think it had like 3 hours left or something. So I recorded those last couple videos, kind of a reveal, but I recorded them back to back, because I was so into the game that I couldn't stop playing. I just wanted to keep playing it. And then after I beat it, I was sitting here thinking about replaying it right away, and I was like, no, gotta move on, gotta start something new, gotta move on. But so with all that being said, guys, I'm sorry to, you know, start this off with like a bunch of talking, but I really just wanted to kind of get that off my chest and just talk about it a little bit. I don't know, if you watching this, maybe have you ever had a book or something give you that kind of just empty feeling when you're done with it? Or what character do you feel like you kind of relate to in the game? Tell me in the comments. I really want to know. It's very weird. I haven't had a feeling like that from a game in a long time. I don't remember the last one where I did, but it's been a really long time since a game has kind of given me that empty feeling after I beat it. There's some games where I beat it and I'm just like, oh, like I think I felt that way for one of the Kingdom Hearts games, and then I felt that way with, I can't remember, but there's a few games where I felt that way. It's just been a really long time for me since I have, so it just surprised me. But anyways, let's go ahead and do this. Let's play this game. Let's check it out. This is The Longest Night, or The Longest Dark. Alright. In December of 2013, a few short months after starting work on Night in the Woods, and 3 weeks after our Kickstarter ended, we decided to release something small. We wanted to show that we were in fact making something. So many ideas. Just stay ideas. So many ideas just stay ideas, after all. And we wanted to have something out there that we'd released. Sometimes you just need to complete something. Yeah. The team had a little less than 2 weeks before all parties left to visit family for the holidays. Longest Night came out of that. Our first supplemental game. It ended up planting ideas that would grow into tall, weird trees later on in Night in the Woods. Geez, I am just not reading very well today. This is Longest Night. They talk about it in the game a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of nice. It's like a pleasant little game. But they made it as just like kind of like an intro to Night in the Woods. Ah, there are all our characters. Why aren't I cold? Fire. We have a fire. We have reached that level as a civilization. Oh, I'm bored. Feels like we've been here forever. Well, we should do the longest night constellation thing. Wow, really? I haven't done that since I was 6. No one has done that since they were like 6. Well, I don't remember being 6. Really? Really? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't remember much before like 8.5. That's very specific. Bay is a synthetic life form created at age 8.5. This makes so much sense. Beep boop Bay. 11011. Okay, whatever. I'm done. Can we just do this? None of us knows enough about the constellations to even do it, Bay. Yeah, Bay. I do. Since when? Since always. Now listen up, dummies. We're going to school. Space school. Listen up, dummies. We're going to school. Oh my lord, there's so many. I can't see anything. We're pattern finders. Find some patterns. So it's just like... It's just... Oh, I can actually see... You can see kind of the outline to them. That's kind of cool. This is the game... so they used this in Night in the Woods when you were out with Angus. They make little noises. Oh, there we go. Corvin the Thief. Stole the diamond from the crown of Rubello, the fire-breathing Pope. Got arrowed to death like 200 feet from the palace. So he didn't get to be a constellation for being a great thief then. He did not. Screw the man. Steal the diamonds. Ah, yes. The revolutionary zeal of kids from the suburbs. The Possum Springs this isn't the suburbs. Yeah, you need a city to have suburbs. We're in the dead center of nowhere. It's like a 40-minute drive if you want to buy shoes. Also, I'm 21. I'm not a kid. I think you're younger than me. I'm 21 too. We both have full-time jobs. Well, as close to full-time as they can get. Before they have to start giving us health insurance. Oh my, I didn't realize she was... So this is like a... This basically like teaches you a little bit about the characters before the game. Man, I wish I would have known. I'll be 20 in like 4 months. Okay, fine. You're all very serious adults. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Oh, that's right. You have to hold on to it. I keep letting go. I keep letting go, guys. Oh, that's a different constellation. Does this go up here? Where's the next one? I don't know. Does this connect like here? No. Oh, here we go. I'm like missing it hardcore. Oh, it's like a triangle thing. There we go. Perfect. The Moss Riders, inventors of written language. Weren't there supposed to be like thousands of them? Listen, there's only so much sky. The mice writers are my sign. I think that means you're thousands of geniuses. I think that means you're screwed. I think that means you're thousands of geniuses. Accurate. Alright. That was it. Okay. We can't really like spin around, it doesn't seem. Oh, okay, now we can. Oh! Let's go with the snake. Whoa! Snake. Snake. The broken snake. The first thing that talked. This story has always made me so annoyed. I was totally the kid in Sunday school who pitched a fit over this story. Oh my god, I remember that. You got sent out to adult church to sit with your parents. No punch and cookies for me. Wow, I certainly missed out on all of that. Oh, dude, you didn't even. Alright. Time for the fire-breathing Pope. We did this one. I remember this one. Rubello, Pope sometime in the 1400s. Crazy times. Oh god, I love this one. There were 2 rival popes, and Rubello won by opening his mouth and consuming them with fire. And then he ate them. Whoa! What? Ah! I knew that one. That is amazing. I mean, historically, his extended family poisoned one and stabbed the other before throwing him into a canal. But he did eat them. He did eat them, yes. That is the raddest thing I've ever heard. Chomp chomp. Whoops, I ate you. Now I'm the Pope. Beautiful. I see that they maybe changed like the way they go about Bae a little bit, because she seems like, I don't know, she seems more excited about things here than she does in the game, so you can see she changed a little bit. Harmonium, the head of the singing order of angels. Ugh, this one. My mom always said I looked like this one. I can see it. I sure can't. Leading so many cranky angels. Grouching hard. Across the sky. Okay. Moving on. Wow. Jeez, May. No wonder why you have so many issues with Bae. Good lord. I think there's gonna be one person who's gonna be like, it's Bea. It's Bea. It's not Bae. But Bae's funnier. I think it's just funnier. Mundi, the world fish. Back then they thought whales were fish. And you know that the world was on one. Mundi's my sign. Oh god. Of course it is. Hey, what does that mean? Well, if any of this meant anything, then it might mean something about, but it doesn't, so it doesn't. What are you doing? Oh, it's supposed to be whale noises. Alright. Whale noises. Nice water. Alright. Now I get it, now that I think about it. First I was like, I don't understand either, but now I get it. Alright. Now for the bell. Toll Metrum. It rings at the end of the world. And Mundi shakes everything off her back. And I think it all catches fire too. It all makes sense back then. Back when people were like wicked dumb. Yeah, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but people were super dumb back then. It's all relative. And full of dumb people. Beautiful dumb people. Now for the fish. That was an easy one. A fish. And just a fish. Pretty self-explanatory. Huh. Fun fact. Fish is my sign. I think that means you're adaptable and smelly. I think that means you're a failure in all things. Wow, that's rude. Come on. Adaptable and smelly. Got one of those right, huh, Captain? Got a manly musk going on over here. You smell like that stuff I got you finally. Ice Hawk. It has a picture of an ice hawk on it. I smell quite masculine. Like an ice hawk. I think you smell nice, Angus. Thanks. What's an ice hawk? You're about to find out. Oh, this is a big one. It's got like a flute. Nope. Oh, I see this. Okay, here we go. Oh, what? How does that not work? Okay, so it's here, here, and here. There we go. That makes sense. Oh my god, Greg's being stabbed in one of the future constellations. Inventorus, the inventor of music. Nice beak. Reminds me of Germ. Germ isn't even musical like it all. Who? Germ? Oh, fine. Who? What? Germ! Germ that hangs out. Germ! Where is Germ? Doing God knows what with whatever weird family he has. I imagine him secretly being some kind of trickster wizard who has assumed baffling form. I have no idea who you are talking about. Oh no. May has space sickness. It took away her memory. Eject her from the airlock. Seriously, May. He's Germ. You know Germ. Wait, are we in space? Why aren't I cold? You are in space. Why aren't you cold? I like the little noises that they make when you hover over them. Kinona, executed by some king somewhere. Her head continued to speak against her murderers for years. For years? That's not how that works. That's pretty sweet. You'd think that, right? But in the story, she's portrayed as annoying. Like she was being a martyr. About literally being martyred. They eventually put her head in a trunk and threw it in a river. Jeez. I know, right? Supposedly, if you put your head underwater in some river in Italy, she'll tell you about her murder. They renamed it the River of Guilt. But not like the guilt of her murderers. More like she's giving you a guilt trip on something stupid. This constellation is garbage. Chop my head off. I'll bite yours off. Happy longest night, everyone. Moving on. Oh no, we're almost there. Man. Alright, here's Greg being stabbed in the gut for some reason. Lucio. Oh yeah. Who? What? Who? Lucio the Fox. They had to spear him to the ground to keep him down. Wait, keep him down? How so? You know, in general. You can see why this one is so popular. What? What's so popular? Why is that it? Alright. Alright. Marmandos, the little king. He was a king who was little. I don't know anything about this one. Apparently a little king was big news back then. I don't think he was even supposed to be all that small. Stop the presses. So there's this king, right? But get this. He's slightly smaller than you'd expect. He wears small shoes. Let's immortalize him in the night sky. I'm kind of short. May Borowski, constellation. Nah. Everyone who picked the constellations is dead now. Alright. Here we are, at the end. Everything has to have an end. Ebon, the first singer. Ever see the opera based on this? No? Oh yeah! No. No? Oh, it's brilliant. It's like 21 hours long. And like 100 years ago when it was playing in Bright Harbor, the stage exploded during the part where Ebon crashes his balloon into the world worm. Sweet. Was anyone killed? Like a lot of people. Oh. Listen, if you can't laugh at that, I have bad news about the rest of history. Well, that's all 13 of them. Yay. Thanks, Angus. That was pretty great. You're a big old nerd, Captain. Yes, I am. You should be a professor. I like to think I fill that role at the video store. Well, I should probably get home. Wait, I just realized that I haven't hung out with you in years, Bae. What? Yeah, not since like 7th grade. We had a huge fight when we were 12. Let's go with not since like 7th grade. I remember I was there. You were a massive jerk. But why am I at a longest night bonfire with you? Because you just missed me so much. Wait, are we actually in space? But I'm warm and breathing. What am I sitting on? Tyrannosaurus pattern. What? Oh god, I haven't seen Greg or Angus for 1.5 years. Regret and emptiness. I didn't go home for longest night. Laundry day. Apple juice taste from when you threw up earlier. You have to call home. You don't want to call home. Oh my god. It's too late to take the bus. What made you think of me today? You don't want to take the bus. This is your new life. Is it still new after a year and a half? Underwear adjust. Next year will be new again. Next year will be new again. Leg stretch. Oh, come on. This is getting stupid. Am I seriously? Well, home's not gonna call itself. Aww. That was a good little prequel to the game. She was dreaming about doing the longest night with all of her friends. So that was before the game started. Man, I wish I would have known about that. I would have played that first off. But then again, I wouldn't have known any of the characters, so I guess it didn't really work out. We're not going to play Lost Constellation. Apparently, it's like its own little separate story. I wanted to do that because it was like a nice tie-in. And I wanted to do that as one last little goodbye to Night in the Woods. It's a great game. I really love it. And one day when I've gone through some of these life changes that I'm working towards, I want to play it again and see how I feel about the characters at that point and see if I still relate. Will I do it? I don't know, but I'd like to think that I would. But yeah, it's a bummer. Sometimes, you know, things come to an end so they can make room for even more great things. Next journey, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do next. There's a lot of games coming out, and we'll just have to pick one. I've got a smaller game that I think is going to take over the slot for this one for a little bit, and I'm hoping some certain games come out before I'm done with that game, but that is going to be it, guys. Thank you once again for joining me through this journey of Night in the Woods. I hope that you had some moments with the characters, and I don't know. I hope you related to at least one of them. And if you did, let me know. I mean, I actually didn't grow up full-time in a small town, but I was in a small town for a long time. And my family is from a small town. And so that made it pretty funny going through this game because a lot of it is pretty similar. Like, I lived in this one small town where I worked at the grocery store, and it was the only grocery store in town and for like miles, so everyone had to go to that store. So I knew most of the town because of that, and I would end up talking to them I was a cashier, so I knew a lot of the town's people. So if I went around town, people just said, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Like all the time. I would go around town with somebody, and people would stop me and be like, "Oh, how's work going?" And it's just be really funny because that's what happens in a small town. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows like most about what's going on in your life and whatnot. It's just crazy. But either way, I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll join me next time, and I hope you join me in the next adventure. Once again, I know that we said this at the end of the last episode, but thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to me. It's been quite a ride, and I look forward to continuing this journey. Either way, I am MrBagelz. Goodbye.